Now, when it comes to portraying siblings in most media, they'll usually be on two different spectrums. On one hand, they'll usually be shown off as someone who ends up beefing and bickering a lot with the main character, especially if the story is focused in a school or home setting. Other times, they are some of the most evil and sadistic beings you will ever lay your eyes on. The first sibling we're looking at today is Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, there have been countless videos on YouTube made about Azula and all the terrible and despicable things she's done during the show. CJ the Champ made a whole video talking about Azula's descent into insanity as the series progressed. The first time we ever see Azula on screen, she is gleefully smiling, watching her brother getting his face burned off by their own father. You have to be a different level of sadistic to be smiling at your own brother getting his face turned into a half-burnt marshmallow. From the moment that they were kids, Azula would mock and bully Zuko non-stop every chance she got. She even went as far as to outright disrespect him in front of their own mother without any remorse or regret whatsoever. This wasn't some normal sibling banter either. She literally made it her whole mission to make sure that Zuko would feel like a miserable emo kid for the rest of the day. No wonder he was so depressed and moody during most of the show. I would be too if I had to listen to someone call me a worthless loser for most of my childhood. When we officially get introduced to Azula in season 2, she tells Zuko that their father regrets his banishment and wants him back in the Fire Nation. Now, all of us in the audience can smell the cat from 200 miles away, but Zuko still wants his daddy's approval, so he goes along with Azula back to the ship, thinking that it's finally time for him to go home. Turns out this whole time, he was supposed to be taken as a prisoner back to the Fire Nation so his father could finish the rest of the job from their Agni Kai. Once Zuko finds out about this, he starts to fight Azula, and Azula outright tells him his dad thinks he's a disappointment and would rather see him dead. Imagine your sister gladly telling you that your dad would rather see you at a Juice WRLD concert than you coming back home. I'm putting myself up for adoption at that point. During their fight, Azula gets the upper hand and is about to finish Zuko off with a lightning bolt to the dome. If it wasn't for Iroh coming in to save him, this man would have been turned into a whole shish kebab. Now, we all know Azula was the one who shot and killed Aang back in Ba Sing Se and told her dad that Zuko was the one who did it. Now, you would think that she would be doing this because she wants to help Zuko win their father's trust back. But she did this as a plan to blackmail Zuko just in case of the smallest, tiniest, itty-bitty chance that Aang was still alive. At one point later on, she pulled upon Zuko and his friends with a whole army of battleships getting ready to end him for the craziest reason.
What are you doing here?
You mean it's not obvious yet? I am about to celebrate becoming an only child!
I beg your pardon?
Like, nigga, what? Pulling up on your own brother with a whole battalion of ships just to murk him is insane levels of hate for your own sibling. During their final Agni Kai, once Zuko gets the upper hand on her, she charges up the craziest lightning bolt of all time. And instead of aiming it at Zuko, decides to aim it at Katara, all so she could boom him right in front of him. Mind you, this man basically had zero friends for most of his life, and she attempted to boom one of his only new ones right there in front of him. The next one on the list is Rodrick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. We, yes we, have all read at least one Diary of a Wimpy Kid book during our childhood. I used to be pushing niggas out of the way during the lines of the book fair just so I could secure my copy of the next issue. They had me tweaking out there for the next book like it was my first time seeing a woman in real life. Rodrick really is the quintessential older teenage sibling. He's lazy as shit, is constantly trying to raise up girls, relentlessly bullies and makes fun of his other siblings, and sleeps for at least 14 hours every single day. Bro, just like me for real, that's my twin right there. In the first ever book in the series, he tricks Greg into thinking that he slept through all of summer vacation and woke him up in the middle of the night by rewinding his alarm clock to be set at 3 a.m. As Greg is eating breakfast, his dad comes downstairs yelling at him for eating cereal past midnight. Greg tells his dad that Rodrick tricked him, but when they go downstairs to confront him, this nigga's already fast asleep pretending like he ain't do nothing. Rodrick gained absolutely nothing from doing this, but he simply did it just for the love of the game. Even though Rodrick is a complete menace for this, I gotta call out Greg on this absolute foolishness. Because what do you mean you actually thought you slept through all of summer vacation? Nigga, at that point, you're probably just dead. Rodrick commits some even more heinous acts during the later books. One time during their stay at a hotel, Rodrick tells Greg that he saw his crush on her family outside across the room from them. Greg, being the dumbass that he is, looks through the peephole trying to see his crush before realizing that Rodrick tricked him. But it was already too late because Greg proceeds to get pushed outside into the hotel hallway in his underwear and gets the door locked behind him. Rodrick really had Greg out there playing Alien Isolation trying to avoid niggas from seeing him shirtless with his whole package out. Rodrick committing yet another devious act just for the sake of trolling. You cannot make this shit up. If I did this to my younger sibling, my ass would wake up 5 minutes later in the middle of a Michael Jackson concert. The final worst sibling for today's video is Loki Odinson of Asgard. Also, for the people in the comments who are like, well, actually, that's not his official name.
I'm here to tell you right now,
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Where do I even start with Loki? During phases 1 through 3 of the MCU, he made it part of his life's mission to make sure Thor's life was absolutely miserable. This man was really out here moving like a cartoon villain with all the conniving schemes he made trying to get Thor kicked out of Asgard. In the first Thor movie, Loki made an entire plan to get Thor banished by having him crash out against an army of frost giants, causing his father to feel so much stress he fell into a coma, which led Loki to take full control of Asgard as the new king. Loki then sent out a whole ass Terminator trying to get Thor to see the Allfathers early. In Thor the Dark World, Loki sacrifices himself to save Thor from the Dark Elves. But it turns out this was all another scheme by Loki, because he proceeds to go on and pretend to be Odin and rule Asgard in secret, stranding the real Odin on some random island and giving Thor golden levels of emotional trauma. This is pure mischief at its finest. Get it? Mischief?
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Man, you corny!
Loki needs to be renamed to the god of pump fakes because he faked his death not once, not twice, but 3 whole times. But Scepter, he actually did die the 3rd time. Oh yeah? Then what's this? I feel really bad for Thor because he saw his brother die in front of him 3 times with the 3rd time actually being real. I'm surprised he was still trying to get Loki to change even after all the things he did. Him and Zuko are really W brothers. Even after all the backstabbing, lies, and betrayals, in the end they were still there for their other siblings. Out of all the other people I've talked about, Loki was really the only one who was able to eventually reconcile with Thor and hash out their differences. In the end, they finally established that family bond with each other.